Greetings, Space Cadets. So I thought I'd show you around my rig that I've been using recently for some small gigs I've been doing for myself. Been going out under my own name, just playing some jazz funk kind of material that I wrote a couple of years ago. Had an album out, really loving it. I've had good response of it as well. So I thought, what the hell, let's get out live. I called up some friends and we put together a little band. Been really good fun, to be honest, just to do some small dates. I'm hoping to do some more of it. And I thought I'd show you what I've been using. You know, I couldn't use the Jamiroquai rig that I use. It's way too big, way too heavy. I wouldn't even be able to fit it on the stages that I've been on. So I've picked out a rig that's still very extensive, but I can tuck it all under my arm and get it in a car. I can set it all up in 15 minutes, no problem. I'm using a Vintage Vibe 64-note electric piano, a sequential Prophet 6, and that goes into a Yamaha Montage 6. When I say goes into, I mean via audio, using the analog inputs on the Montage 6. The great thing about that is it means the mix between these two is sorted. I've already mixed them to be great between the two of them. Because when you do small gigs, you never know what you're going to get in terms of sound engineer. And sure enough, this time, first gig, the sound was just hopeless. Second one, we had a moody sound engineer that just didn't want to help us. Third one, we had a great sound engineer. You just never know. It's a lottery. That person behind the desk, you know, is like in the seat of power, and it's hard for you to know whether they're going to get a good sound for you. So just to take that out of the equation, I've geared these two together. The other advantage of that is I can use reverbs on the Montage 6 or other effects with the Prophet, and I can automate them. I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so first up, the Vintage Vibe. It's pretty straightforward. Sounds like this clean. I've got it coming out in stereo, so you can use the auto pan. Then if I kick in the MXR, sounds really nice with the stereo and the phaser. Great for those dreamier moments. And then if you have the distortion and the phaser as well, you get that kind of Lonnie Liston Smith sound that I absolutely love. Now that sounds pretty distorted. You might think that's too distorted, but when it's in a band, a lot of that distortion kind of, you don't hear it, it disappears, but you get the cut through and the compression that dirt is giving you just helps your sound to be heard through the band, even though the level is not any higher. So I kick that in and out. It's great also if you're on a clean setting and you just want it to be really spanky. So where the Vintage Vibe is all about getting the performance and enjoying, you know, jamming on the thing, the Yamaha Montage 6 is where I bring a bit of refinement to it, because I didn't want it just to be a small gig where I'm just bashing along and everyone's just jamming and there's not much finesse to it. You know, I wanted to have some of the sounds that I've got on my record, and I wanted to bolster a few of the vocals as well, because there's lots of layered BVs on my album. Derek, the drummer, was playing to a click, which meant that I could use samples. So for instance, in this track, Sunshine, I use all the keyboards. I've got the Montage split. So at the top, it's playing this kind of Lyle Mays sound that I used on the album. And then with my left hand, I've got a Selena string machine type sound. On the left, I've got a vocal sample. Then blended with all of us singing, that sounds great, just really fattens it all out. So I use these three sounds for the chorus. Then in the verse part, I trigger a BV here. And then the prophet at the end. Bit of a stretch getting back there for the chorus again, but you can do it. You know, you can cover so much ground with three keyboards like this. And I love having this across setup. I just find it really easy to be open-handed like that. I've got an expression pedal set up with the Montage, so it can do various different modulations. In this case, it's being a wah effect. And then you can just really get that great dynamic between the keyboards. So I really enjoy the interaction between the different sounds. It just makes the gig so much more fun. You're really always feeling involved, but you're not overplaying, you're coming up with parts and stuff. As I said earlier, the Prophet 6 is going into the Montage 6's mixing facility. And I put that into good use on this track called Venus Rising. Because what you can do is, obviously I've got the expression pedal set up on the Montage, and that controls this super knob here. You can program it to do all sorts of things. One thing I'm using it for here is to bring in reverb. So at some point I'm using this kind of sound. The Montage is so interactive like that, it's great. Again, I'm triggering some samples on this one. At the beginning of the tune, I've got some vocals on here again, because it's a big vocal thing on the record. And I've put them in with another sample from the tune as well, so it goes like this. So the top sound is a Montage sound, and the others are samples. And then I've got an arpeggiator here. It's quite difficult playing arpeggiator live, so I smudged that with the reverb as well. So I can wash it out when I want to. Then to the other sound. And then when I solo, I get rid of the MXR and I turn the dirt on and get rid of the pan. Then it really can ping out. Here's another tune where I've got some quite interesting stuff going on. Again, it's 3 parts. The intro is the Vintage Vibe and the Prophet. And then I play the main melody on the Yamaha, which is on a piano sound. The piano sound is quite a nice intimate piano I've programmed. And I've put some automation in here, so the same piano comes in an octave up with tons of reverb when I put the expression pedal in. So like this. I've also got another sample that I like from the record, so I can trigger that at the same time. There's another song where I'm making a big long intro, which I drag out. And to help me get some atmosphere around it, I made a little sequence on the Prophet 6, but with a very soft attack. So it's not obviously percussive, it just fills out the sound. Sounds like this. Again, I can add reverb from the expression pedal on the Montage. And then I play along like this to it. It's great because the sequencing provides all that atmosphere, but it also gives me an idea of the time of the rest of the track, even though I don't have to observe it because it's got a soft attack. If I listen, I can hear where the beats are coming, so it helps me to be in time when it's time to bring in the rest of the band. So I hope you enjoyed my little walk around. If you like what I do, by the way, please do subscribe and click the alert bell. These days, YouTube is trying to bury me. They're not pushing my videos, so if you want to see them, please click the alert bell and then you will at least get a chance to watch them. All right, take it easy. See you soon.